Midweek Analysis.
Hey guys, this is a midweek analysis for March 24th of 2021. Alright, we'll start off with the Aussie NZD pair. This is a monthly chart. We'll start off with a brief overview. Alright, so we had a normal double bottom right here against a weak downward trend line from that pivot to this pivot. And so we're long biased in the long term, at least to this trend line level, or perhaps this pivot high. Now yesterday, that first target was hit right here. And at this point, we're going to examine price and see if price could get through this trend line to that second target. Thus, in the short term, we are neutral biased. Okay, so let's talk midweek price. Alright, this is a weekly chart. If you recall last week, we were talking about price in this range right here. Now, if a strong short trade formed on the upper side of this range, we could have taken it right back down to this pivot low. However, price did not make that strong short trade on this upper side of the range and just burst through this range and hit our first long-term target. Okay, at this point, what we want to be looking for is, let me take you over to the monthly chart. Now, this trend line we were talking about from this pivot to this pivot, we want to see the lower time frames grunge through this trend line level with compact price action. Now, let me show you what that looks like. So we'll go over to the 4-hour chart. Okay, so what we want to see is for price to grunge through that trend line level on the monthly chart like this with compact price action. We do not want to see price just jump up like this. All right. So if we could get that compact price action grunging through that monthly trend line level, perhaps price will reach that long-term second target we were talking about. So we'll just have to wait and see what kind of price action we get on the lower time frames. Will it be grunging like this, which is good? Or will it be straight up like that, which is not good? All right, so let's go on to the Euro-USD pair. Oh, and please subscribe if you like these videos, and please press the like button. It'll really help me out, guys. Thank you. Okay, this is a monthly chart. We'll start off with a brief overview. So this trend line from this pivot to this pivot right here was broken out roughly 8 months ago. So in the medium term, we are long biased right up to this pivot high. However, in the short term, we are short biased right down to this pivot low right here. All right, let's go to midweek price. All right, this is a weekly chart. Now, the current setup we're looking at is as follows. There was a strong short trade right here, then a weak long trade right here. So as price pulled back right here, we were looking for shorts right back down to this pivot low as a target. Then 2 weeks ago, we had another week long. So as price pulled back, we were again looking for shorts right back down to this pivot low. Now, if you're having trouble understanding what I'm talking about, strong shorts and weak longs, please watch my price action trading course lessons 1 through 4, and that should give you a general idea. Okay, so let me turn this off here. Now, price is off our target by literally 1 pip at this point. Now, obviously, we can still get a pullback for another short, but assuming price does hit this target right here, that's only 1 pip off current price. Again, we'll still be looking for the same setup. So the next long that forms, we're going to gauge its strength. Now, if that long strength is stronger than this short strength up here, well, then that's in line with our medium-term bias, and we'll be targeting this pivot high as a target. However, if that long is weak, well, then we'll be repeating what we've been doing for the past couple of weeks. We're going to wait for a pullback up and take it right back down to that new pivot low target. Okay, so one last thing I want to add here is that a possible area that price could form that strong long trade up, which is in line with our medium-term bias, is this level right here. So this trend line from this pivot to this pivot. Let's see what kind of price action we get on this weekly chart at this level. If it's strong long, then we could possibly go along with our medium term bias and take a long right up to this pivot high target. Alright, so let's go on to the Usdjpy pair. Okay, this is a monthly chart. We'll start off with a brief overview. Alright, ultimately we're targeting this pivot low at 101, but before that, we're talking about the pullback right up to 107, then 109, and then down to this pivot low target. However, due to strong momentum long in current price, in the short term, we are neutral bias. Alright, so let's go to midweek price. Okay, we'll stay on this monthly chart. So this trend line from this pivot to this pivot right here, we wanted price to respect this trend line with compact price action. Now this compact price action can be on the daily or 4-hour charts. However, it must be on this monthly trend line. Okay, so let's go on to the lower time frames to see if that compact price action is forming or not. Okay, this is the 4-hour chart. Now if you look at this price action right here, this price action is a little bit too wide in terms of pivots for it to be compact at this point. What I mean is that the pivots in between these peaks are a little bit too wide to be compact. Okay, so ideally what we wanted is maybe half the width on each of these peaks. So at this point, we're not getting that compact price action, so we could target that long-term target at 101. But in terms of current price action, there may be a little bit of pullback down to roughly this 108 to 107.50 level. Okay, so we'll just have to wait and see if we eventually get that compact price action we're talking about. Alright, let's go on to the Nzdusd USD pair. Okay, this is a weekly chart. We'll start off with a brief overview. Alright, so since this long move right here, starting from this range, was solely based on momentum, in the long term, we are short biased, right back down to this pivot low. However, in the short term, since there's a little bit of momentum long left in this move, we are long biased, right up to this pivot high. Alright, let's go to midweek price. Okay, this is a daily chart, so if you recall, we wanted price to respect this trend line from this pivot to this pivot with compact price action. And possibly we could have gotten that move up to our short-term target up here. However, yesterday, price broke out of that upward trend line right here very strongly. Now let me give you a little bit of information about this move here. We'll go down to the 4-hour chart. Now if you recall, we're talking about the last long trade was right here. And if this stop loss right here was never hit, well then price would have reached that pivot high target we were talking about, right? Now price eventually touched this stop loss level and went through this level. Now the important thing here is not that it touched the stop loss level, it's how it touched the stop loss level with this price action. Let me explain this real quick. So again, the last long trade was right here, and up to this point, price had a lot of strength long. However, even if there was a lot of strength long, price still pushed through this level. Now when there's strong strength up, however, price still pushes through it, that indicates a lot of opposing strength. So in this case, that would be down. Now as you can see, often these types of setups give very vertical and sudden opposing strength in price. So at the time being, we could expect a little bit of fall down, but eventually we are still long biased right back up to this pivot high as a target. Okay, let me take you over to the weekly chart again. Some possible levels that price can reverse direction and get up to this short-term target right up here are: number one is this trend line level from this pivot to this pivot. So generally in this area. Moreover, it could also be in this general area right here. Now this is due to this fake double top that formed right here. Now fake double tops typically do not go to target height. So generally it will be in this area. Okay, so we're still looking for that long entry to that short-term target up here. And some general places to be looking for are in these areas right here. Alright, so that's it for the midweek analysis. I hope you guys have a great rest of the week, guys. And thanks for watching. Goodbye.